Welcome to the Roboticist Chronicles, an ARC Specialties podcast, where we get into the nuts and bolts of robots, automation, and the implications of an evolving machine workforce.
Hello, this is Dan Alford with ARC Specialties, and you're listening to the Roboticist Chronicles. We're bringing back an old guest, Nathan Sumrall. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate that. How has your afternoon been?
So far, so good. I got to tell the audience why you're here. Is you put a cool post up on LinkedIn, I think it was this week,
Yes.
where you were using one of our systems with a very much off-the-label application, something we never thought we would do. So I thought we'd get you in here. We could talk about that. We could talk about Houston welding, the economic environment, and just catch up.
I appreciate that. I can take no credit for that off-label use of your incredible ARC 5i, which is one of your practical, like, robotic manipulator type things.
Well, let me tell them how it works.
Yeah.
So the back in the old days, you rotated the part and the torch stayed stationary, and that worked great. But, that's kind of like moving the paper underneath your pencil. If your part's heavier than the pencil, then it makes more sense to move the torch. And so the 5i rotates the torch.
The 5i doesn't just rotate the torch, it can also weld in straight lines. And
we found that out.
We found that out. We've done some calibration blocks before with that equipment, but this time we got to use that straight line application in a part.
What is that part?
That part is a cone. There's like this.
Is it like a secret?
Oh, no, it's just a cone.
Okay.
I blurred out the image just for the privacy of the customer, but in this case, it's a big, giant carbon steel cone that's got explosion bonded Monel in it, and we have to bridge the gaps between one sheet of Monel and another sheet with weld overlay.
Okay, back up. Let's tell them how explosion bonding works. It doesn't work on a cone. You do explosion bonding on a sheet.
That's right.
And then you roll it into a cone, and because of that, there's a seam. And so that's what my machine's doing there.
That's right. So we're using the ARC 5i to weld a layer of Monel on top of that gap between those two plates.
Okay, Monel, that's copper nickel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're welding over steel.
Yes.
Doesn't that cause cracking?
It does, and I have one procedure qualification from several years ago that says it passed, and I have no idea how I did direct Monel to steel, because every time I've done it since, yeah, it cracks. So we use a layer of nickel, like almost commercially pure nickel, something called ER Nickel 1, as that butter layer or interlayer between the steel and the Monel that we are welding on top of it.
Just don't want people to get the wrong idea and start running Monel on steel, is it?
No, for goodness sake, that's a terrible idea. Do not weld Monel straight to steel, okay?
Because copper and steel create hot cracks.
Yeah, and you can see them crack real time. Add some nickel in between the two, and the problem goes away.
Gotcha. And so that nickel 99, do you say, or 55?
Yeah, it's like 99.
99% nickel. So are you running that with my machine also, or is that manual? Oh, excellent.
That's right. So we use the ARC 5i or any of Dan's like welding machines in the shop, welding that first layer with nickel 1, and then welding all remaining layers with the Monel 60.
And I just got a kick out of it because, you had this part up there that's normally, we're welding inside of bores, and instead you're welding inside of a cone, and normally we do cylindrical parts and you're doing conical parts, and I just got a kick out of it. But what struck me is this is living proof that the best kind of welding machine is programmable and automatic. And if it's programmable, that makes it flexible. And so, although you're supposed to be welding valves for a living, here you are welding cones, and it seems to be working.
Yes, and one thing that's really cool about what you do, Dan, is that you have this parametric programming that the welding operators have access to. Like, you have the main welding screen, and then you can go into this programming screen and then put in some basic shapes. Well, so long as you can get the part in the right orientation to like match the shapes that are already modeled in that parametric like equation, suddenly it doesn't really matter the shape of the part you're welding, so long as it matches what the machine thinks it's doing. So you can trick the machine into doing some very incredible things that you guys never intended it to do.
Never.
Like one great example is welding long radius elbows.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Yes, but you guys made a machine that can weld long radius elbows.
But you didn't buy it.
We bought 3 of them, just not from you. It was
okay.
other people that couldn't figure out how to use the machines, and we were like, "We'll
They're
take
still
that
ARC
one."
machines, though.
Oh yeah, they are ARC Specialties machines. I want to say they're the ARC 5 HVT.
HVT.
Yes, and those were designed to weld like a 4-inch elbow all the way up to 12. We've upgraded the machines to weld 24 to 36-inch elbows, and it's because your programming parametrically is stable even at that large size.
Should be. It's just math.
It's a math. It's just an equation, and so long as you have a good understanding of the setup, you can make it happen even if the machine was not originally designed for it. So we are very good at off-label use cases for your equipment.
Oh, no, I'm just tickled to death, and that's the point. Is because, when you bought these machines way back, you said, hey, we're going to weld valves. I go, okay. But we're going to give you this functionality, and I would say that well over half of our customers they don't use most of the functionality, but some of you guys do some amazing stuff.
That's very kind. And the case with the ARC 5i in the photo you saw, instead of having the torch straight down, we had it sideways.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
No, but we had this cool sideways attachment from one of the other machines that you built for us. We said, well, if we just take this and put it sideways and figure out how to get the wire into the right spot, I think we can make this work. Well, that, again, Corey, the shop supervisor of the company, he did a great job setting that up. He's been running it and taking care of it and just making that machine do laps around this part. Because he's welding round, he's welding cone, he's welding straight lines. Like this particular part in and of itself is a great example of what you can use the ARC 5i for, or even 6 or 7 axis machines like this one here would be able to do.
You need to buy one of those.
Oh man, I'm saving up for one. Maybe 2 or 3. Actually, in a perfect world, I mean, I've got 20,000 square feet of manufacturing space, right? Well, at least Bill, the owner of the company, does. I just work there. Imagine this being a slightly larger facility where we have the ARC 5Is in their cladding section, the pipe cladding in its own section, the fabrication in its own section. We do a lot of heavy fabrication too, and it kind of stands on top of that pipe cladders. They're kind of in that floor space. So what if there was just a little bit more room so where we could have the cool robotic cells that are really exemplifying everything that we see in automation today with regards to manufacturing. Think about it. Like, welding is dark, dirty, dangerous, and requires...
I enjoy it.
Oh, I enjoy it as well, but sometimes there are things that we humans cannot do that robots can do for us.
Oh, reach 2 meter into a 3-inch hole and then apply Inconel with a preheated part at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Try to do that by hand.
I know. I've lost my fingerprints trying. It's too many burns. I think that people are scared of robotics and technology because it's going to replace jobs. No, it's just going to make them more technologically advanced, and you're going to have people that are smarter around the welding technology. And that's the reason why Corey and the guys at our shop do such a good job, even without me standing on top of them, because so long as I can teach them how to think, my job as a welding engineer is way easier than most guys. I'm not having to fix like everyone's mess ups every day. They are getting the initiative and creativity to do it, so long as they play within the sandbox. I've said, hey, this is what's going to work. This doesn't work. And if you can figure out how to make the machine do something really cool in between, let's give it a try. And the photo that you saw with this super cool cone was a great use case of that.
Well, if we can get you to go to the full-blown ARC 5 Infinity, which is a 7-axis robot, that's the pinnacle of automation. But you're pretty close with the 5Is. So
I think the 5i is a solid 80%er for what you could do. That,
and it's probably easier to run.
I don't know. I think that your newer technology that uses these robots has such good closed loop control of the kinematics of the system.
Oh, and we handle the arc length. We handle a lot of the stuff for you.
Yeah, and then from there, even just like welding in a circle, it becomes way more precise just because of the weight and the design and the software that's baked into it. And that's just good proof that the technology that you guys are working with is scalable to the type of equipment that industry can provide nowadays. Because like the kind of like big robots you guys are using are from the automotive world, right?
Generally, yeah.
General manufacturing. And ARC Specialties is a robotic integrator that does a terrific job on the software side and really understanding the human factor around these robots.
Because we're welders.
That's right. Yeah, if you're a welding robot integrator and you don't weld,
that's not a good sign.
No, go somewhere else. We need someone who actually welds and knows how to do their stuff. Indeed. Actually, this seat is empty because the guy who would have filled that is having too much fun welding right now.
Right, doing some electroslag additive, Dave Hebel. And I wanted the two of y'all in here because you were like the same person separated by 35 years. You both went to LeTourneau,
yep,
which is the Texas Welding University up in Longview.
Mm-hmm.
And it was started by R.G. LeTourneau.
Yep.
And my favorite quote from R.G. LeTourneau, who was building most of the earth-moving equipment at around World War II times, before CAT became the big player, it was LeTourneau. And I love his quote, which is, "There are no big jobs, only small machines." Mm-hmm. And I kind of follow R.G.'s philosophy, and he created a great school. The two of y'all are a product of.
Yes, and for as many universities in the states that have engineering programs, so few of them actually have like a very robust welding engineering focus. And I am very grateful for the chance of just even going. The opportunity is incredible to just learn about the science of welding and materials and what can happen and what shouldn't happen in a place that is a good way to fail. Like, it's a safe place to fail when you're at college because you're just...
Nobody dies,
and you get a bad grade and shoot, you can take the class again, right? Out in the real world, you've got...
Things fall down.
People get hurt, really hurt. And the environment gets hurt, and the kind of robotic and mechanized equipment that we use is not just made to help improve that in the manufacturing environment, but the actual intent of the welding prevents that at scale, at the large oil and gas wells down hole on this Christmas tree, or even far out in the middle of like the Permian Basin where someone's working there. You can take equipment like these pipes and these valves and clad layers of superalloy, these nickels and Inconels in there, and you can take that 5-year, 10-year service life and multiply that to something that most people would consider indefinite, but you and I know there's
no such thing.
There's no such thing. There's a time limit to everything. You just got to design for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, so if there's any parents out there that have kids that are wondering about education and possible career paths, this is our chance to pitch welding engineering. ARC Specialties has funded 4 scholarships, and they're all at LeTourneau. So there's money for the kids to go to school, and it's a great career. You've had fun, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And from there, what's really cool about Dan and other companies like ARC Specialties in the industry, they donate to these kinds of programs as well. I actually learned how to do some cladding on one of Dan's old machines that he donated to LeTourneau.
Right. That's the only hot wire TIG that they had there.
That's right. And, man, we used that thing extensively.
It's kind of funny because hot wire TIG is such a critical welding process, and yet very few schools have the capability. And when I found out LeTourneau didn't, we fixed it.
That's right. And if you are not familiar with what hot wire TIG is, it's TIG welding, except you're able to preheat the filler metal going into it so you can weld faster and have lower dilution and a higher quality weld all at the same time.
Yeah, so you take the most precise process that has independent control over wire feed speed, current, and voltage, and travel speed, and then you mitigate the one problem, which is low productivity. But with the hot wire, we bring the productivity up. So it's a great process, and that's a majority of what you're doing at your shop right now is hot wire TIG.
That's right. We've got like 30 hot wire TIG machines, and they're all
great
blue.
Customer.
Yeah, and we span the ARC's portfolio of equipment from the small ARC 5 PLs, which work with parts that are around 1 meter in volume and maybe less than 5,000 pounds, all the way up to the pipe cladding machines that can weld pipes in 40-foot lengths, and we might do 60 feet in the next.
Yeah, you're always
months.
breaking the rules.
Yeah, that's right. Just off-label stuff with those machines.
And I'm proud of you guys. So I sold you a machine that's supposed to weld cylindrical parts with Inconel, and here you are welding other stuff with Monel, and that is the key to survival in a competitive world because everything is cyclical, and that's why ARC is doing well because we're in 5 industry segments right now. And I'm afraid a lot of our friends here in Houston, they go like, no, we're doing oil patch. I go, then you live and die by the oil patch. Whereas by having flexibility and the mindset to tackle new problems, you guys are doing well.
I appreciate that. We know that oil and gas is not a stable industry.
No, it's the fun part.
It's so fun. It is blowing and going, or it's famine. We need something that's consistent in the middle that will let the peaks and valleys go.
No. You just want to have alternate other peaks to fill in the valleys.
That's a great point. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah. So if we can have the Houston market expand into aerospace, into defense, into the marine side of manufacturing,
we're doing that. I mean, they just closed a deal this morning. I saw it in the Wall Street Journal.
Really?
For a shipyard down in Galveston. It was part of the old copper plant. And they're going to build icebreakers.
Icebreakers in a place that's 100 degrees? Sign me up.
Yeah, and
that's
so,
a great idea.
No, and I'm you guys aren't members of this, but I think I probably need to talk to you. It's called the Greater Houston Manufacturers Association, GHMA.
Okay. No, we're not.
And the point of the GHMA is you can get almost anything done here in Houston. You name it, from metal cutting to additive to plastics to whatever. This is a get it done town, and we have the technology that applies everywhere, which is what I do. We're taking the same technology that we sold to you for welding valves, and now we're using it on submarines. But guess what? Same problems.
Same problems, different depth.
Yeah.
Well, I say that our stuff's deeper most of the time.
Well, that's classified. So.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just glad to see you guys doing well, and you're doing it because of diversity. So yes. I applaud you and Bill. Bill's an interesting fellow. I love to tell the story about him. He's went straight from high school student to entrepreneur.
Yes. And
never had a job in his life.
No, and he started his own machine shop and then started his own fabrication companies and started a custom building company and everything from landscaping to residential. He has put his thumbprint on that in the Houston community, and I am very grateful for working for such an incredible man. Both yep. Bill Bean, the owner of the company, Jesse Trubia, the president of the company, and all the folks that I get to work for. I am just so thankful that they don't pigeonhole this is what we do in this industry, and this is what we're going to live or die by.
No, that's not his style.
No, as soon as he gets bored, he's trying something else. And he's like, okay, you guys go grow this to be what it should be, not what we started with.
No, if he doesn't have enough work, he figures out a new type of work rather than laying people off. And, he creates jobs.
That's right.
I love the guy. Super guy.
Yeah, and there are very few things in our world that are more rewarding than giving people the opportunity to work.
You're singing my song. That's what I do nowadays. I create jobs.
Yes, and the networking, the relationships that you can establish with that, and the rapport, the long-term trust that you can have with that. We are an oil and gas company, yet we just did a quote for the city because they're like, hey, you guys do cladding, right? And we're like,
yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's do that. I was delighted to even expand into that and give it a try.
Yeah, a little of that also to go with it. So how long have you been with Bill now?
I have been working for Bill since 2014.
So it's your only job you've ever had?
That's right. Ever since college, I did 7 or 8 years worth of internships, but immediately
as soon as you
got
got your degree.
That's right. This is my first and only job.
And I get to tell the story even if I embarrass you. So Bill said he couldn't interview you because he didn't know what questions to ask. So I interviewed you.
And just flattened me like a rock.
And I said, you got a good attitude. But I said, but you ain't ready for this job.
I was not.
And I could tell it about killed you. And then I said, but if you promise to work hard and not quit, we'll work with you. And I hooked you up with Dave Hebel and Dick Holdren and some of the good guys, and they've tuned you up. And I must say that it is a sign of a good teacher when the student exceeds the teacher, and you have come a long ways.
That is, thank you. I have transitioned from thinking I know everything to knowing I know nothing. And if I'm the smartest guy in the room, I need to go to a different room.
Yep, need to step up your game.
Yeah, and being able to spend time with those great icons of our industry, I just get to learn. And then anything that they have an opinion on that the industry needs to change, I'm happy to be an additional advocate for that kind of change at the lower level, because I'm only 10 years into this versus 20, 30, 40 years in this industry, which most of my counterparts are.
Yeah, but you already have a longer tenure at one company than most people do nowadays. That's a good sign.
Yes, I am delighted that Bill said, hey, you're worth keeping. And from there, you might know nothing right now, but that's going to be good enough for long term, because you're going to keep learning, keep growing. And I'm here to help and learn. That's it. If I can help someone with a solution, with an opportunity, a problem that we can help solve, that is a investment well spent.
Are you working with the AWS committees now, aren't you?
Yes.
Tell us that story, because everybody that's in any industry should give back through a professional society. So explain the process.
Sure. So the American Welding Society has a handbook, or an encyclopedia of knowledge, where they have all of these handbooks that people can buy and read and learn from the wisdom of greater men, much greater people than myself. But I was given the opportunity to lead one of these committees and be responsible for rewriting the chapter of clad and dissimilar metal welding for the future AWS Volume 4 handbook.
Outstanding.
Yes.
As soon as I get a copy, I want you to autograph it.
Yes, please. That'd be so cool. That would be so humbling.
When's that scheduled for?
AWS doesn't really have a schedule for the publication. They just want to have everything done before they produce it. So it's going to be a multi-year thing. I wouldn't be surprised if AWS publishes it in the late 26, 27 timeframe. That's just me guessing. Don't hold me to it. I'm not the people who actually writes the checks to the publishing house.
And I have these books dating all the way back to the 50s, because
Yes.
my first boss gave me his, and I keep them because there's some welding processes that aren't even in the current books. And there's some processes in the current books that aren't in the early books, so you really need
all
the
of
whole
them.
thing.
You need the whole thing to have a complete perspective on it, because what we are doing to this chapter is to bring all of the current knowledge and lingo and science and understanding of our industry for the culture that's here now. So we are replacing a lot of the stuff that was in the previous edition, because that's already been published. If someone wants to read about the stuff in the 80s and 90s, it's there. It's done.
Yeah, I got it next door.
That's right. Let's do the new ones. Let's look at the immediate future with what we have right now. And one of the biggest gaps that we have in our industry with dissimilar metal welding in general is even just how to quote it, how to understand the economics and the return on investment for something that's cladded versus being a solid alloy versus just being a steel and having to replace it again over time. What are those life cycle costs looking like? How does someone price it out and compare it to make a wise investment decision? That's a whole new section of this chapter that I am adding.
Well, here in the oil field, we're working with temperatures and pressures that are so high that frequently a single material won't solve the problem. And so we're not even talking about economics. We're talking about feasibility.
That's right.
The stuff you and I do is because there ain't another way to do it.
Yes, and that
makes it fun.
Oh, it makes it fun. It makes it challenging, and if you want to find out how much you know, try to teach it.
Yeah.
And in our industries, we have to teach this information, share it with other people, because they don't know it all. For example, someone reached out to me saying, hey, we need to weld Inconel 718 to 316. How do we do that? And I said, add money and stir aggressively.
I've never done that one.
Yes. It's a dissimilar metal weld.
Right.
You're looking at a nickel superalloy versus an austenitic stainless steel. How do you combine the two, hold pressure, and don't worry about cracking? We might be doing some extra research into that soon.
Yep, but that's why you qualify welding procedures, in the laboratory to make sure it's working.
Yeah, and all too few welding companies have welding engineers or people like myself on staff who are responsible for that kind of development. And for Bill, to the owner of Superior Cladding, to find that position valuable enough to keep and maintain on his staff has been incredible. Because at that point, I might have a commercial relationship with a machine shop or maybe another welding company or anything, but that also, because of my role as a welding engineer, I get to have a direct technical conversation with the BPs and the Shells and the Chevrons of the world and saying, hey, you guys have this idea. This is how it can actually happen in real life. I can be the bridge between the idea and the drawing and the real life thing on the part. And I think more welding engineers should be filling that kind of gap in industry.
Yeah, I think every shop like yours needs a welding engineer.
Yes.
You know, and that certainly allowed you guys to tackle projects, you know, because if you don't have a welding engineer on staff, then you're limited to the welding procedures you've got.
That's right. And the ability to expand the company and meet new challenges is really hamstringed by that.
In a timely manner.
Mm-hmm.
It's even harder. All right. Enough business. You and I are both desert racers. Of course, I'm kind of old for that now, so I've run Baja twice, and then you've gotten into it. Tell how's the racing business going?
Racing business is growing. I'm learning a lot, and
You're still using 4 wheels though.
Oh yeah, that's right. And with
the problem with that is that you get twice the tire budget I had.
I had twice the tire budget, but also 4 times the fuel and the weight penalties.
So you need a bike.
Dude, I'm not crazy enough for a bike. Hats off to you on that.
So you built the truck.
Yep.
And you want to tell us about the first race?
Sure. So I do desert racing for fun, and I built this old 90s SUV, a Toyota 4Runner, into a race truck. So with 180 horsepower and 280,000 miles, I decided to go race it in the Baja 1000.
Oh, so, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, right? Like going all the way to Mexico, driving to the bottom of it, La Paz, and then racing back. Great idea for a first race in Mexico. We gave it a shot. We had a great time, a great learning experience. Unfortunately, one of the teams wrecked the truck really bad after I handed it off. The truck did not have square wheels, but everything else was round where it should have been square. So the
how many miles in?
It was about around 400, 300.
See, I told you to run the 500 to
That's
start
right.
out with, and you might have finished the 500.
Yeah, because this 1000 was even like 1,300 miles long.
Oh, yeah.
It was way longer than the 1,000 miles they said. So the truck was wrecked. We had lots of drama just trying to get this vehicle back in the United States, back home, and fix it over the next couple of years. And we are racing this truck again in January. In the meantime,
Where? In Mexico or here?
Here in the United States.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's not worry about the language barrier and asking for junk parts out of a scrapyard in the middle of Mexico. Yes, that's a great idea.
Makes a good story, but damn it, it's challenging.
Oh, it's so stressful too. Oh my gosh. But I've gone back to Baja since. I went and raced in the Nora 1000 earlier this year. Had a great time with my mentor, Steve Tayo, and his desert racing team, TPM Racing.
Did you drive or were you crewing?
I was actually in the passenger seat. So navigator on that one. And if we had raced more days, there was a possibility I could have driven. But we want to make sure all the veterans had all the extra fun first, right? I'm young enough to the point where I'm the intern on this team, the redheaded stepchild. Man, it was great fun. We had such a good time. I've also raced in Best in the Desert, Vegas to Reno type stuff. Again, side co-pilot, the navigator seat in an Ultra 4 car. UC Motorsports, Colin Hornock, he's a great guy. I hope you get to meet him someday. He's both a petrol head and a petroleum engineer, so great combination for what we have here in Houston all the way up to Colorado. He's actually one of the main sponsors for our race at King of the Hammers in January. That's very cool. He usually races it, but this year, family's growing a little bit. He wants to stay home for the kids or just even hang around the pits. Let's let the super dangerous stuff happen for other guys.
Right.
Yeah. And the 4Runner is fast for a Toyota, but it's very slow for a race car. So there's a lot less stress and risk around racing this one versus a very fast car.
Yeah.
But let's be real. A bespoke, finely made machine for a certain application like desert racing is so much fun. Being able to just get in that Class 10 car and go any amount of speed with it. And for those who don't know, a Class 10 car is like an unlimited VW Beetle. It's got...
How much travel in the suspension?
It's like 30 inches almost.
30 inches, right. And so a stock Beetle is what, 3 inches? So just to give you an idea.
10 times as much.
But the bumps, the whoop-de-doos are measured in feet.
That's right. And my truck would swim through these 3-foot, 5-foot
they float.
loops. They just float across it. And there's nothing like it. The feeling is just incredible. It's like planing on water at 50, 80, 100 miles an hour but it's sand. Like, it's an electrifying feeling. It's
addictive, isn't it?
It is so addictive. I can't get enough of it. So long as I'm responsible budget-wise. I really do love my wife more than racing, so she's got to say, like, hey, let's do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, make sure it fits within what we can do with your side business and fund it that way. That's really where the desert racing thing has been growing for me a lot is
with... You opened a storefront.
That's right. And what was really cool about Bill...
He supports you.
Yeah, that's right. So Bill Bean, he said, hey, you want to open up a business? Do it at Superior Cladding. Do it in your office.
Yeah, most people just fire you.
Yeah, that's right. So he's like, hey, you're really he said, like, you're really a benefit to this company. You've been here for a long time. You're not a flight risk. You have this side hustle. Like, let's grow it and make something valuable, because it would be very cool if Good Mayhem Racing, this little desert racing team, eventually became a customer of Superior Cladding.
Yeah, you could build bumpers or whatever.
Build bumpers, trailers.
Cages.
Yep, roll cages, all that stuff. So I'm laying the groundwork for that in the meantime. As a welding engineer, my scope in design engineering is limited to what I got in my engineering degree back in college. So now I'm getting to reamp all of that knowledge and skill in this side hustle where I'm designing parts, fabricating them, breaking them, and making them better, and then also looking at completely different markets like with additive manufacturing and 3D printing to see if there is something that I can learn in there to help grow Superior Cladding and what we can do in the future.
That's why I hire a lot of racers. They got some passion. They crave competition. They crave challenges. So, yeah, I think Bill's probably nurturing that.
Yes, he is. And letting me have the chance to fail, like giving me the chance to go talk to customers. Yeah, that's right.
You didn't quit your day job, did you?
No. This is even at the day job, like I have been given the opportunity to do technical sales and go meet with customers and clients like all over Texas and more, just to see what they need and how we can help them. And I want to expand that for Superior Cladding into larger and larger markets like defense and marine. Like, think about the submarines and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be cool if we could bring more of that work here to Houston?
We're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it here, and I want to do it at the manufacturing level as well.
I think that's great. That'll make Houston way more recession-proof.
Yes, recession-proof and resourceful and more interconnected. I think Houston is one of the largest, if not the largest, technical powerhouse from a welding standpoint in the world. And if we can get that knowledge benefiting other industries, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. That's why we're building everything from rockets to potato skin machines.
Yeah. So, like your most recent, I would like to say toys, but they're really working machines, and they are valuable.
Which ones?
Like your Arc 5 Infinity on a train track? Like, what's going on
Those
there?
are for sale.
Those are for sale, yeah. Like if I understood, I saw one of your videos on LinkedIn recently. These robotic welding
bigger
machines. Yeah, really, really big. You know, big as this room kind of thing. You're now using technology that you developed so long ago, and not repackaging it, but redesigning all of the stuff on the back end to make it usable for these large robots, to the point where you can work with a part, physically move it and weld another section of this part, and then bring it back and forth. Like, what's your final intent of this machine here? It's fascinating.
That's why I enjoy doing Inconel cladding, because it's a dynamic industry. We have 600 machines running all over the place. There's a huge demand for it, everything from oil field to military. And so the very first machines are relatively simple. You turn the part, and then somebody said, hey, that's kind of stupid. The part weighs tons and the torch weighs pounds. So we started rotating the torch with your 5i.
Yep.
And then we took that rotating assembly. So these are all incremental steps.
Yes.
If we went straight to this infinite rotation robot, that would have been quite a challenge. But instead, that's our approach at ARC, is we take little steps. And so we created the rotating head and we actually did it for the ARC 6G way back. And that had the rotating head. Then we applied it to the 5i. And so it wasn't that big a deal to apply it to a robot, because the problem with a robot is the wrist can only rotate around one revolution.
Yes.
And you guys want to weld thousands of revolutions.
Yeah. So like this cone here that we're welding that you saw that photo of probably has 2,000 weld beads in it.
Yeah, so you have to rotate 2,000 times. And so, some people are listening. You guys probably know about some of the MIG torches that have the capability of doing infinite rotation. But we're not doing MIG, we're doing TIG. So we have to run the main power supply, water in, water out, gas in.
Hot wire.
Hot wire. Usually we're running a camera down there. So there's just too many things to run through a slip ring normally. But we've developed a slip ring technology. So when the robot's out there, it's just making little motions like this, but way down in the bore, we're rotating. It's been quite a challenge, though, because we have to automatically adapt torch height. But it's all stuff that we've done before on other machines. Like I said, it's incremental steps. And I think it's going to revolutionize the cladding industry.
I think it will, especially in high volume, low mix shops where they're able to do the same kind of part over and over and over. I can see great opportunity for hot wire TIG with product lines. What's kind of cool about Superior Cladding is that we have so much, like with my skill set, being able to work with customers and help optimize their designs for the cladding, we usually get baked into people's product lines.
You like that, right?
Oh, we love that. But yeah, we've probably done 2,000 or 3,000 parts over the past just a couple of years alone for 2 unique product lines, from downhole to the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico all the way to Saudi Arabia. And we'll see hundreds of parts at a time that we might weld in 2 or 3 distinct stages over months just because of the way the manufacturing processes are done. Those kinds of parts would be great with the robot.
Right. Flexible automation is the true path.
That's right.
Hey, hang on a minute. I thought people said nothing's made in America. Now you're telling me we're building stuff that's getting shipped all the way to Saudi.
Oh, yeah. And also the machines are made here too, right?
Right here in Houston, Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody, manufacturing's still alive and well in America. And you just have to find an industry that'll justify it. But I always tell people, we're not going to cost jobs. We're going to keep them here, because if you want to make 7 times as much as a low-income country, you got to be 7 times as efficient, because it's a global economy, and you're going to be going head to head with these folks.
That's right.
And I can help.
That's right. You sure can help, and we have benefited from that greatly.
I love taking people over to your shop, because I introduce them to you, and then I just walk away, because it's a whole shop and nothing but ARC Specialties machines.
That's right. So whenever Dan wants to be able to show a customer, hey, people do use our equipment, by the way. Let me show you a place where there's 30 of them.
It's too much fun. Bill bought so many, I had to give him one, I think.
Yes. One of your project managers literally built an ARC 5 PL for a penny.
Yeah.
He's still sore about that to this day. An entire welding robot for 1 cent.
Yeah, so by 29, I'll give you one.
Hey, I like that. But I want more. We got to figure that out. I got to bring in some new markets, some new customers, and the future's bright here at Superior Cladding, in addition to what we're doing with all of the side hustle stuff with good Mayhem Racing.
Well, I'm just delighted that you guys have broadened your horizons. You're working in lots of different industries. This is going to serve you well during hard times, which are inevitable.
They are, and the hard times breed hard men, and hard men make good times. So we're in that cycle right now, and with especially the chance to help revise the American Welding Society's handbook, I want to be able to pass that information on to the next generation of people who will become welding engineers and replace people like me.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to retire soon. You're going to retire one day. All right, go ahead. Shameless pitch. How do they find you? How do they get a hold of you? What can you do?
Sure. I am Nathan Sumrall, the welding engineer of Superior Cladding. We are in Houston, Texas at the address 11505 Todd Street. If you have any need for pressure piping fabrication, weld overlays, cladding, if you're going to be welding Inconels and super alloys in addition to any of the high-strength steels that no one wants to weld, give us a call. The jobs that no one wants, we're going to get.
Give us a website or something.
scphou.com.
SCP.
That's right.
HOU.
I got a kind of a lisp, so C's are really hard.
Sorry about that. What's the phone number?
It is, my phone number is 972-533-5664, And you can also call our office number at 281-405-9400.
See if we can get Johnny to splash that on the page too. So if you don't have a welding procedure to do whatever strange alloy and whatever strange base metal, what happens?
I get involved. I
you
help
love
quote it, and we develop a new welding procedure, and then our customers are able to have our help on all of their equipment. It is ever growing. It is always new, and just because someone just changed this little thing ever so slightly, we get to redo the whole thing. I am down. Let's go.
No, you live for it.
Yes, I do.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on. And let's see. This is our second one, so we ought to do this again.
Yep. This the last one was in 2022, 23. It was
like that.
like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. So we just need to keep this cycle going as we both get more gray hair.
I'm ahead of the curve.
I'm at the bottom of it. It's going to be exponential here before too long.
All right. Well, keep making us look good by using the machine for these off-label applications, and we'll have you back soon.
I am looking forward to it, and please keep on developing the American robots that we need here in the world. Thank you for doing that, Dan.
Absolutely.